Millions of people suffer from autoimmune conditions that their doctor tells them, we don't know what causes it. You need to take this expensive pill or this infusion regularly for the rest of your life.
Ever wondered what would happen if the army that's meant to protect you suddenly turned against you? That is exactly what goes on inside the body of someone with an autoimmune disease. Your immune system's job is to defend you against viruses, bacteria, and anything that doesn't belong. But in autoimmune disease, the system designed to protect you becomes the attacker. This leads to pain, fatigue, and long-term damage.
And when your immune system cells are flowing around in your bloodstream and crawling around in your tissues, and they find this misshapen cell, the cell's going to be made of a misshapen protein, they're going to attack that. They're going to say, this is not part of us. This is a foreign protein. I'm going to attack this.
If you've ever felt like your body is working against you, you wake up tired, battle random aches, or struggle with flare-ups you can't predict, this video is for you. Today, we'll explore whether it's actually possible to calm or even cure autoimmune disease in just 90 days. There are over 80 recognized autoimmune diseases. They affect millions of people worldwide and include conditions like rheumatoid arthritis, lupus, multiple sclerosis, Hashimoto's thyroiditis, and type 1 diabetes. For decades, the standard medical response has been to tell patients autoimmune diseases are lifelong. You can only manage them with medication. Drugs like steroids and immunosuppressants have become the default solution. But what if there was another way? What if instead of managing symptoms forever, you could retrain your immune system and bring it back into balance? Growing research in functional medicine and thousands of real-life stories suggest this may be possible. This brings us to today's question. Can you actually cure, or at least calm, autoimmune disease in 90 days? Let us begin with understanding the root cause of autoimmune disease. Autoimmune disease begins with one common factor: inflammation. This is the body's natural defense mechanism, but when it doesn't shut off, it becomes destructive. One trigger is a leaky gut, where tiny food particles slip into the bloodstream. The immune system spots them and reacts, mistaking harmless proteins for dangerous invaders. Stress is another powerful driver. Living in constant fight-or-flight mode keeps cortisol high, pushing the immune system into overdrive and leaving it less able to distinguish friend from foe. Toxins from food, pollution, and even household chemicals add more strain. On top of that, missing nutrients such as vitamin D, magnesium, and omega-3s leave the body without the tools it needs to function properly. When these problems pile up, the immune system becomes confused. Instead of protecting, it starts misfiring. It starts to attack healthy joints, skin, the thyroid, or even the digestive tract. Can diet really change autoimmune disease? For years, mainstream medicine insisted that diet made little or no difference to autoimmune disease. Patients were told food could not affect their symptoms in any meaningful way, but thousands of people across the world are now sharing a different story. By changing what they eat, many report dramatic improvements. They report fewer flare-ups, less pain, and in some cases, complete remission. Some even say their symptoms improved by as much as 80 to 90%. Others report they've been able to reduce or stop medications under medical supervision.
When you have enough thousands of people benefiting from eating a certain way, I feel like I'm compelled to share that with you so that you can at least try a 90-day trial of this and see if it doesn't help your autoimmune condition.
So what diet are people turning to? The surprising answer is the carnivore diet. What is the carnivore diet? The carnivore diet is as simple as it sounds. It focuses on animal-based foods like meat, fish, eggs, and animal fats. The diet includes cutting out plants, grains, legumes, and processed sugar. At first glance, this sounds extreme. After all, most nutrition advice pushes fruits, vegetables, and whole grains. But the carnivore diet flips that script, arguing that for some people, plants may actually be the problem.
There are 600 different non-protein making amino acids that have been found so far in plants. And I think this is a great reason that so many people benefit from eating a carnivore diet that consists only of animal meat and animal products.
Plants contain natural defense chemicals. These include lectins, oxalates, and phytates. These compounds are designed to deter insects and animals from eating them. While harmless to many, these substances may irritate sensitive guts and provoke the immune system in vulnerable people. By removing these plant compounds, inflammation often decreases. Over time, the body rebuilds tissues with amino acids from animal foods, restoring proteins to their natural shape and reducing immune confusion. Dr. Ken Berry is a family physician with more than 20 years of experience. He has become one of the most vocal advocates of the carnivore diet. He says he has received thousands of reports from patients and followers who tried the diet for autoimmune conditions. People have reported improvements in rheumatoid arthritis, lupus, psoriasis, Crohn's disease, ulcerative colitis, Hashimoto's thyroiditis, celiac disease, pernicious anemia, and multiple sclerosis. These are not isolated single cases, but repeated patterns across large groups of people. Let's take Aaron, for example. After years of struggling with autoimmune symptoms, he relied on Plaquenil and thyroid medication just to get through daily life. But after shifting to carnivore diet, he found his symptoms easing so much that he could go weeks without Plaquenil, and even stopped his thyroid medication entirely. His story mirrors what thousands of others are reporting: real relief and renewed energy through dietary change. Gut-related conditions like Crohn's, colitis, and irritable bowel syndrome often show some of the most dramatic turnarounds. Most patients describe flare-ups disappearing within weeks and remission lasting months or even years when they stay consistent with the diet. Of course, controlled clinical trials are still lacking. Much of the evidence comes from self-reported experiences, but when thousands of people describe the same benefits, it raises important questions worth investigating. Now let's take a closer look at some of the autoimmune conditions where people are reporting real changes. Starting with rheumatoid arthritis. This condition brings painful, swollen joints that can make even simple tasks feel impossible. Yet, many carnivore dieters say their stiffness eases dramatically once they cut out plants and focus on animal protein. Moving on to lupus. This disease doesn't just affect the joints, it can touch the skin and even internal organs. People who've tried carnivore often describe fewer flares and a noticeable lift in their fatigue. Then there's psoriasis, an autoimmune skin condition that causes red, scaly patches. Some dieters report something remarkable here. Their skin cleared within just weeks of making the switch. Next is Crohn's disease, which inflames the digestive tract and causes painful, unpredictable flare-ups. But when patients go carnivore, they often talk about calmer digestion and far less pain. Closely related is ulcerative colitis, another form of inflammatory bowel disease that creates ulcers in the colon. For many, removing plant fibers and irritants has been the key to long-awaited remission. Now let's talk about Hashimoto's thyroiditis. This autoimmune attack on the thyroid leads to brain fog, weight gain, and exhaustion. But carnivore followers often notice the opposite. They feel more energy, clearer thinking, and better balance. Now, celiac disease is a little different because gluten is already known as the main trigger, but many people find that other plant compounds can worsen their symptoms too. A meat-based diet removes these irritants altogether. Then there's pernicious anemia. It involves poor absorption of vitamin B12. Since animal foods are the richest natural source of B12, carnivore offers the body what it's been missing. Multiple sclerosis, or MS, is another condition people talk about. It damages nerves, leading to weakness and coordination problems. Some carnivore dieters say their relapses are less frequent and their energy levels improve. And finally, let's not forget irritable bowel syndrome. While it's not always labeled as an autoimmune disease, it's deeply tied to gut health. Here too, cutting plant triggers often brings near immediate relief. So across these conditions, the stories line up. Patients say pain lessens, flare-ups shrink, and life begins to feel manageable again, sometimes within as little as 90 days.
I think that's why these 10 autoimmune diseases get so much better on a carnivore diet, is because slowly but surely, as you replace your tissues, you're replacing proteins and you're replacing amino acids.
Now let's talk about what a 90-day carnivore trial might actually look like in real life. In the first 4 weeks, it's all about transition. Think simple meals, beef, chicken, fish, and eggs. This is the adjustment phase, and it can take time for your body to shift gears. Some people notice changes right away, others feel a bit rough at first. That's normal. Staying hydrated and adding salt for electrolytes makes a big difference here. By weeks 5 through 8, something interesting often begins to happen. Inflammation starts to calm down, energy picks up, digestion feels smoother. This is the healing phase, when many people report fewer flare-ups and a sense of stability they haven't felt in years. Then, in the final stretch, that is, weeks 9 to 12, the body really begins to reset. With clean protein as its fuel, tissues rebuild, and symptoms often continue to improve. For some, this is the point where remission-level benefits appear. And by the end of 90 days, you'll have your answer. If your symptoms improve, you can keep going. Or, if you choose, carefully reintroduce foods one at a time to see what your body truly tolerates. Autoimmune diseases are among the most frustrating conditions of our time, but growing evidence suggests diet plays a far bigger role than once believed. By removing plant triggers and focusing on nutrient-rich animal foods, the carnivore diet may help calm inflammation, heal the gut, and retrain the immune system. Thousands of reports show people reducing flares, gaining energy, and in some cases, reaching remission. A 90-day trial is simple. It carries low risk if monitored properly, and it might just change your life. So let us ask you this. Have you ever tried changing the way you eat to help with your autoimmune symptoms? And if you gave the carnivore diet a real 90-day shot, what's the first change you'd hope to see in your health or daily life? Drop your answers in the comments. We'd love to read your stories, and you never know who else you might encourage by sharing. If this video gave you something to think about, go ahead and give it a like, hit subscribe, and ring that little bell so you don't miss the next one.